Tonkawa Field or Buccaneer Field. Buccaneer Field. All right, welcome to Squirtle.com. Game of the week, live from Buccaneer Field. It's the Cashion Wildcats TV pregame show. I'm Neiman Abavi. Joining me here up in the beautiful visitor side press box at Buccaneer Field is my man, Chris Gibson. Well, we'll be bringing you the 7-1 ranked number 3 Cashion Wildcats taking on the home senior night, ranked number 6 Tonkawa Bucks in a pivotal A3 District A3 matchup where a champion will be crowned tonight. Again, game of the week, Chris. Are you pumped up?
You know, somebody asked me, I don't like these games that are going to be close. I said, I don't like the games that's going to be a blowout. I want some competition, and this is what it's all about right here. Big games, big atmosphere, fun, just something that you can get pumped up for. If you can't get pumped up for this, if you can't get fired up for this, what? Your wood is wet. So let's go.
Well, we appreciate you guys joining us, and as the Cashion Wildcats TV Homer broadcast team, we've been blessed by Adam and Corey and the gang here at Squirtle.com to bring you to tonight's pregame show. Again, one of the top Squirtle channels in the state. We average right around 7,000 to 8,000 per football game, and gets up in the 10 to 20,000 range during playoffs. We appreciate you guys joining us. We're going to try our best to bring you an unbiased approach, but this is what we provide every single week. It'll be a little breakdown of the Cashion Wildcats' previous game. We'll talk about the competition for the week, which will be the Tonkawa Bucks. We'll break down a little bit in terms of what's happening with the team. We miss our man Drew Baker. He's going to be running the pay dirt tonight for Andy Campbell. We'll have our locker room sideline and coaches response to the game, and of course we always end every show, and you can't see us right now, but I've got my Sharpie in my hand. We end every pregame show with a prediction set for the game, and if you've watched us, if you've been one of those 200,000 folks that watched us last year, you know my man Chris Gibson is pretty much spot on and probably should be running his own gambling line, I guess, with Jacob Dieselhorse. So maybe you and Jake can.
Yeah, Jacob put some lines out there. We pretty spot on.
We can. So right now, what you're seeing is a sunset view here on the field as both teams are warming up, and again, it's a beautiful football fall night here live, Friday Night Lights live from Buccaneer Field. Hey, let's break down. So my man Bryce Miller is our producer. We're going to break down last week's game, and last week it was it was an unusual situation as the Cashion Wildcats go basically making up a game as OBA, Oklahoma Bible Academy, had to drop to independent 8-man. Cashion Wildcats and Coach Shack had to scramble to find somebody, and well, they did. They found Ulysses Tigers out of Ulysses, Kansas, 4A school. I think we mentioned they had more kids in their high school than I think in our entire town, but nonetheless, Cashion Wildcats drove up to the 2.5-hour trip to Alva to beautiful Northwest OSU to play on Ranger Field to take on the Tigers, and came out victorious 34-13. It was the Mason Manning coming out, so that poor guy we had talked about getting so close. Has had a fantastic year, but finally got his due. 7 receptions, 158 yards, 2 touchdowns. Was our yak master. The kid was just ridiculous after the catch. And then Ben Harmon, of course, one of the record-setting quarterbacks here in the state, regardless of class, put on another show, 16 for 22, 312 yards, 3 touchdowns, and 1 interception as the Cashion Wildcats moved to 7-1. In terms of the stats, Chris, anything that stand out to you from last week's game against the Tigers?
You know, just the fact that we can run the ball with consistency, always be up in that 150 to 200, 250 range when everybody thinks we're a passing team. Speaks volume for the line and speaks volume for Nick really stepping up this year, getting into that running back role, which he's never played since probably Little League, and he's done a great job. I mean, we call him backpack because he just puts the team on his back and says, let's go. Dora the Explorer style, and love seeing him run the ball with the physicality, and he kind of sets the tone for the team. And he's been one of those kids. We talked about needing leadership from those senior roles. He's been one of those kids that stepped up. I know he's your son, and you don't try to prop him up as much, but I will. He's been a big part of this team, and that's what sticks out to me is the rushing that we can consistently see out of this team week in and week out. Other than that, man, just putting up 34 points on a 4A team, going up and seeing that the offense kind of got back into hitting their stride last week. Where against Hinton, we moved the ball. We got to the 5-yard line 4 times, I think, in the first half.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
And just couldn't get in the end zone. It was one of those. It was just a weird game, not a game that a lot of people are looking at that score going 12-0. Cashion only won 12-0. Then these guys, kind of blew their doors off last week. But it was a deal where it could have been about 42-0, real easy.
Yeah, it was a tough one. In terms of the Cashion Wildcats, again, breaking down the Tigers game last week, you did mention the run game by Nick. Certainly loved seeing Ben hook up with Mason on a couple TDs. Obviously, Landon Lagasse had a great night as well. The penalties right around that 6, that's something definitely to look out for. I know you'll be talking about that later on in our keys for the Cats. The one turnover, again, another costly turnover at the goal line, again, for Ben Harmon. He's been absolutely brilliant, going into the red zone. That'll be something, obviously, we'll want to talk and look for here going into this game against Tonkawa, who our man Big Ben over at 104.7 The Bull definitely does a great job talking up the Tonkawa defense this year. Hey, from a standpoint of final breakdown, we've got Bryce Miller, we've got the crew. We appreciate you guys joining us here on the Squirtle Game of the Week. Again, we're blessed. We have a fantastic community and following on CashionWildcats.tv. But if you haven't, if your school or if you're watching from outside just to watch a top 10 ranked Class A good football game here in terms of getting a title, if your school doesn't have Squirtle, we absolutely would encourage you to visit Squirtle.tv, take a look at the advertising packages, how to get signed up, how to get your school involved. Our man Adam Dieselhorst is the guy. I think they have about 50 schools signed up. Is that right, Bryce? I think so, even more than that, as Bryce is basically traveling the entire state. But we certainly love being one of the flagship schools for the Squirtle family. And if you haven't done it, we definitely would encourage you to take a look at Squirtle.com, Squirtle.tv, and see if it's something right for you guys.
It's not only just sporting events.
That's right.
We broadcast stock shows. We broadcast the band concerts. It's just a great way to be able to highlight your students in a way that previously you haven't really had a chance to do.
Yeah, and it's free of charge. So as you think about your community, this is something unlike a lot of other streaming services for high school sports. You have to pay. You have to pay a monthly installment just to maybe get one game. Here, this is free of charge. And with that note, we want to thank all of our awesome, fantastic sponsors. You'll see them in the right-hand corner. All the guys that help keep the lights on and keep us going and making this free of charge. So with that, we might as well pay a couple bills. Let's go to a commercial timeout. Bryce, send us there. We'll be right back here on the pregame Squirtle Game of the Week live from Buccaneer Field.
For generations, the FFA has been helping our children through agriculture to grow into responsible adults. We believe in and we support the work being done by our local FFA chapters and all they do to create an enriching experience for our youth. For all you do, you have our thanks. Farm Credit of Enid. Together, we grow. Is your school or booster club looking for ways to fundraise? Let Downtown Threads create a custom website to showcase all your school apparel. You pick the design and the garment, we do the rest. We will handle all the payments and cut you one check when the website is closed. Call today, 580-237-7060. Downtown Threads, proudly supporting all local high school athletes.
At Bellarmine Company, we know agriculture. Every day we actively value, market, and sell farmland and farm equipment. We also provide comprehensive insurance products for crops, farm equipment, and farm liability. This provides us a true understanding of the rural way of life, resulting in a better service for our customers. There is a difference. We'd be honored to show you. Find out more at callbellamy.com. That is callbellamy.com.
Our world is changing, but one thing is the same. We're here for you. In these uncertain times, take comfort in knowing that modern women of America is built for this. We are built to handle uncertainties, and we've weathered many in the past 137 years, including world wars, disease outbreaks, depressions, and recessions. You may have concerns about your financial plan, but you can also have peace of mind. You got this. because you have us.
Hey, welcome back to Buccaneer Field. Neiman Ababi, Chris Gibson live here from Tonkawa as your number 3 Cashion Wildcats taking on the number 6 Tonkawa Bucks here in Class A3 supremacy. Somebody's leaving with a district title and most likely a first place position going into playoffs. It's a battle of 7-1 versus 7-1, and we're pleased and very happy that you guys are joining us here tonight. We got a little pregame action from the Cashion Wildcats TV crew. Chris and I are pleased to bring this to you. We gave Adam a big high five and said thanks for letting us come out here and at least participate a little bit. So we broke down the Cashion Wildcats game last week. Let's take a look now look forward to the Tonkawa Bucks. Chris, from your perspective, any initial thoughts as we think about the home team senior night Tonkawa Bucks here tonight?
You know, last year it was a big game and kind of a big deal that this was the first time that Cashion and Tonkawa had ever really matched up. And I can remember the build-up to that game. We had the big ice storm, and we wound up having to play it at I think Edmond Santa Fe, so we didn't get to host it at Cashion. But it was still a big build-up to that game. It was a Saturday afternoon game, and then Cashion just blew the doors off of them. And I don't think it's going to be that way this year. You know, I think it's we lost a few of the better kids on this team. We have had some kids step up. I think we've gotten better since the season has began, but I think this Tonkawa team has gotten a lot better from last year too. Not only the fact that some of their kids have gotten older that are more their playmakers, but the fact they've had some kids move in here that have really bolstered their team and their roster. And you'll see some of those later on highlighted in our players to watch. We kind of go over that the players to watch for the Buccaneers. I have down number 5 Cam Jackson. That's exactly what I was talking about. He's a kid that's moved in here. I think he started last year or maybe played a lot of minutes for the Ponca City squad last year.
6A, right? 6A
and
too?
he moved in here. I think he was eligible maybe last week for the first time or 2 weeks ago for the first time. He had to go through some OSSA. I don't know what all they had to do to get him eligible, but they got him eligible. And he's here, and he contributes. He's a big contributor. I think he's ran for 250 yards last week, and maybe 2 weeks in a row he's ran for about 250 yards. I guess we'd have to ask old Big Ben over at the Bull, but he could probably tell you for sure. But, yeah, Cam Jackson, number 5, you'll see him. He's a junior, running back, defensive back. He's 5'5", 155 pounds. He's a kid that's going to get a ton of carries tonight, and he's a kid that's just if you haven't seen anything on them from the last 2 games, you're going to see him line up in that backfield. They're going to get him the ball on the edges and just let him make kids miss. He is a shifty runner. I said 5'5", 155 pounds. You're thinking that's not a big kid, but the kid is a solid muscle. I mean, you look at him down there, he looks like a football player, looks like a running back. He's got that low center of gravity and can really go. And I seen him outrun some kids last week against OCA, or not last week, a couple weeks against OCA that had some wheels, and he was able to pull away and get in the end zone on some big runs there. Number 4, Roman Chandler. I think he was injured and was out a couple weeks, and I haven't seen him down
he's out there. I see him. He's got a little ankle tape.
Okay,
going on.
there he is. And so he is, and there was kind of a question of if he was going to get to play or not tonight, just because if he was coming back from injury. But he is out there, and he's getting around pretty good, so I have a feeling we'll see. He's another running back, and that's what they've talked about. When they're both healthy and both able to play, that's one thing that they're going to hang their hat on is running the football, letting both of those kids get a lot of touches and really try to pound the football, control the clock with that running game. And so you'll see Roman Chandler back there in that backfield. He's not as shifty, I don't think, as Cam Jackson, but the kid is a big, strong, physical kid. He's and can really get downhill quickly and really break some tackles and try and get those extra yards. Then you'll see number 59, Michael Brown, senior O-line, D-line, 6'1", 275. You're going to see him highlighted on that offensive line and defensive line. He's just a big physical kid that can really get off the ball on the defensive side and just wreak havoc. He may not get every tackle, but he's in the backfield, making things happen, opening up holes for those linebackers to come through and really disrupt what the other team has got going. So those 3 kids you're going to see a lot of throughout the game, and really they're going to hang their hat on run the ball, controlling the clock, and Cam Jackson, Roman Chandler are the two. They're going to be toting it, and then 59, Michael Brown's going to be up front on the offensive side trying to pave the way.
Great breakdown there. I mean, just looking at the Tonkawa Bucks right here, we've got number 2 for them, Ryan Morgan, the quarterback, I believe is a sophomore. Looks like he'll be taking snaps. And I'm really impressed with number 1, Jaden Guzman, a junior, as well at running back, linebacker out there, as well as the backup, number 34, Luke Shepard. So with that, from the standpoint of players to watch, certainly, I love the breakdown. Chris if you haven't listened to us this year, Chris does a fantastic job, and we'll give you the highlight. Chris, from a standpoint of Coach Kirtley and kind of what's going on from the locker room, I know we don't have Drew here, but, some thoughts from Coach Kirtley in terms of his thoughts on the game today.
Yeah, Drew does a great job of really getting in touch with these coaches that we're playing week in and week out and just getting their thoughts on the game, maybe trying to get a few keys and see what their, mindset going into playing the Cashion Wildcats are. And he does a great job. And this week is like no other. He wasn't even going to be here tonight, and he went ahead and reached out to the coach and got some stuff. So Coach Kirtley, he said, tonight the first question Drew asked him was, this being the district championship for Cashion and Tonkawa, what does this game mean for you, your team, and considering the playoffs in a few weeks, how important is this? And he said, certainly a big game. People are excited about it. District championships are hard to accomplish. And obviously the winner gets a chance at that second home game. I think he really emphasized that, and that's an important thing going into the playoffs, having those 2 home games under your belt to really boost you into the playoffs. Then he asked him from what you've seen of Cashion this far, what concerns you or what do you have as far as how do you attack them? He said a lot was made of the game last year. We were disappointed we couldn't make a game of it. We're excited for another opportunity and hope to do better. That being said, it's not an end-all game, which takes some stress off. But I have a feeling it doesn't matter if it's an end-all, be-all. He's coaching these kids and getting them fired up, and the whole crowd of the old town of Tonkawa is getting fired up for this one.
Yeah.
Other than that, he just we did ask him, what do you and your team believe are things you can take advantage of, both offensively and defensively? And Coach Kirtley said, Cashion is a talented team in all areas on both sides of the ball, and it's difficult to find kinks in the armor. And they will have to play a complete game in every phase, limit their big plays, and make a lot of plays ourselves. That's one thing you hear from coaches week in and week out is like limit those big plays, and make tackles and don't let them get those big, a pass out for 2 yards turning into 60. So that's something that every coach we've talked to is made a point to say we don't want to have those big plays like that go against us. But with the Cashion Wildcat offense, sometimes that's going to happen. It's just how a team responds a lot of times. And I think Coach Kirtley, and then we'll have the Tonkawa Buccaneers ready to get after the Wildcats tonight. And I'm excited to see how they try to attack and offensively and defensively the Wildcats tonight.
Yeah, it's going to be a good one regardless. I mean, again, both teams coming in undefeated in district. Both teams 7-1. We'll talk about where some of those losses. Cashion losing that first one to Rejoice Christian 3A or 2A, I believe. 2A Rejoice Christian coming into town. That was a big revenge game for them. But appreciate you guys joining us here. Great breakdown by Chris there on the Tonkawa Bucks. Again, a fantastic night here. Friday Night Lights, as we say, as everyone says here, live from Buccaneer Field. It's Chris and Nima here with the pregame show. We'll go to a quick timeout. We'll come back with keys for the Cats. And I've got the Sharpie out, so we'll talk about what that prediction is going to be for tonight's big district championship game between the number 3 ranked Cashion Wildcats and the number 6 ranked Tonkawa Bucks. We'll be back in a sec.
OK Bit Service Inc. has been providing quality service and products to the petroleum, water, and mining industries for over 35 years. We provide high-quality tricones, reamers, and PDC bits to water well, mining, geothermal, oil and gas, and directional boring and construction companies nationwide. Contact OK Bit today for your next drilling project. We are proud supporters of our local community and very proud of our Tonkawa Public Schools. Go Bucks!
Are you looking for a bank that provides excellent security and safety for your account information? Then Bank Central is made for you. When you use our website, bcna.com, you can pay bills, check account balances, download statements, and even manage your debit card. With our mobile app, you can do all that, plus make deposits as easily as taking a picture with your phone. Talk to a CSR at any of our 6 locations to find the products that work best for your banking needs. At Bank Central, we're centered on you. Member FDIC.
Annual checkups, primary care provider, urgent health needs? Come see us at Cashion Community Clinic. With 10 years of experience in rural emergency and primary care, Cameron Hogan is ready to serve you. The Hogan family calls Cashion home and loves contributing through their local community clinic. We accept all insurances and offer very affordable cash pay options as well. So when the need arises, from pediatrics to grandparents, call us at 405-433-5008 or come see Cameron Hogan PAC at the Cashion Community Clinic on Main Street. Go Wildcats!
Cashion FBC is a church seeking to grow in Christ and our love for the body of Christ. With ministries from children to youth to adults, we strive to present the gospel in an engaging and meaningful way. Sunday school meets at 9:45 a.m. and worship starts at 11 a.m. Children and youth meet on Wednesdays at 6 p.m. Please check our website at cashionfbc.org for more information, and we hope to see you this Sunday, located a half-mile east of Cashion.
Hi, my name is Stephanie Woody, and I want to help you or a loved one navigate your way through understanding Medicare. It's hard getting questions answered when you don't know who to call or trust. I am local and appointed with all the insurance carriers in Oklahoma. You can trust me to help you apply for Medicare, make the right decisions based on your current financial and healthcare needs, and feel confident about your future. Act quickly. Annual enrollment period is October 15th to December 7th. Call Stephanie Woody, that's me, at 405-830-4966 to set up an appointment.
Here we go.
All right, welcome back to Buccaneer Field. Hey, thank you, Bryce, for bringing us back in. I get a little nudge on the say, hey, we're live. And we are live here, live from Tonkawa, Oklahoma, as your number 3 Squirtle-ranked Cashion Wildcats will be taking on the number 6 ranked Tonkawa Bucks for District A3 Championship. I'm Neiman Abavi, Chris Gibson here live. And it's a beautiful fall night here, and we're proud to bring you this CWTV, CashionWildcats.tv pregame special. We broke down a little bit of the Cashion Wildcats last week, a little bit of Tonkawa. Now it's about the keys for the Cats, and this is your legacy insurance and financial services keys for the Cats, as Chris will bring this to you. So, Chris, as we get the graphic pulled up from my man Bryce, starting on offense, what are the keys for the Cats here tonight to get win number 8?
Yeah, the keys for the Cats tonight, just offensively, I want to see us really establish the run game. With the defense that Tonkawa runs, they have a kind of a 3-man front, a little 3-4, walk a guy up. If we can really make them have to come up and try to stop that run, that's just going to open up the field deep for Ben. They kind of just play a single safety, of cover 1 in the middle and just kind of go back and forth. And if we can really make them bring those kids up to the box and then let Ben kind of pick and pick the secondary apart, it's going to be a big night for the Cashion offense. Offensively, again, no penalties. No penalties. We've got, we've had games where we've just been having drives, making drives. Most of the time we can overcome them, but in big games like this, I want to see a clean game, no penalties. Don't shoot yourself in the foot. Don't make yourself have to work any harder on the offensive side of the football to get in the end zone than you already have.
So speaking of the run, again, it's been a kind of tale of two halves this season thus far, rushing the ball. And in fact, we're going to highlight here senior Nick Nabavi, number 4, running back, middle linebacker for the Cashion Wildcats. Through the first 4 games, it was all air raid all day with Landon Lagasse and Ben Harmon hooking up with ridiculous numbers. The Cashion run game was kind of pedestrian. Nick had about 34 carries for 179 yards, but as teams have kind of tried to triple team and double and bracket up on Lagasse and Mason Manning, it's been Nick Nabavi who's been able, as Chris offered up, backpacking it up.
Let's go.
With 85 carries and 623 yards. So the run game has been proficient and effective for the Cashion Wildcats. But who could forget what's happening with record-setting Ben Harmon and his basically in his 3rd year as a starter. The guy's been ridiculous, and it's been in the past. It's been in terms of, we think about prior years for Ben Harmon, you're thinking about folks like Alex Nabavi as well as Brexton Green last year, and now this year it's Landon Lagasse taking that baton, that torch, and the wide receiver crew for the Cashion Wildcats. 2,500 yards for Harmon, almost half of that going to Lagasse. 31 TDs, and if you look at Lagasse, he's got 21 of those. It's been ridiculous as the Cashion Wildcats, as you say, is kind of pick your poison from an offensive standpoint.
And we talked about it earlier with Mason Manning. I mean, he's got over 1,000 yards receiving. He just can't get in the end zone. It's like there's either a penalty or he steps out at the 2.
Yeah, it's certainly been a great situation, definitely balanced in terms of we think about the entire season. If we go back to the defensive side in terms of keys for the Cats, Chris, you got a couple points here in terms of for hopefully a win number 8 for the Cashion Wildcats.
I mean, defensively, Tonkawa wants to run the ball. Limit the run game. Make them have to go to the air. Get them in those, long 3rd, 4th, and 10, 3rd and 4th, and 15. Make them throw the ball. With that being said, leads into my second point. The defensive backs have to be alert. I watched the Watonga game the other night. It was 4th and 15, and Watonga just lets a dude run right by him. Quarterback's got a good enough arm. He can drop it in there for a wide-open receiver for touchdowns. So the defensive backs, Max Brown is back this week after he's been out for, 4 or 5 weeks?
Yeah, it's been at least a month.
Maybe 6 weeks. And he's going to be playing that, center of the field. Don't let anybody deep. Go knock down some balls. I want to see him have a big game in the defensive backfield, back there in that secondary, and just go rob the ball, man, and have a big night back there. So if we can limit that run game, which we said they have kind of
limit. You're not going to stop it. But
no, you're not going to stop. They're going to number 5 and number 4 are good enough running backs, and they've got a couple of really big linemen. You kind of said they kind of have a small line. They've got 2 kids on the right side, number 59 that I talked about earlier, number 72. Both of those dudes are big, and I was watching them kind of go through their pregame, run their plays. They run about 90% of the time behind those 2 dudes, or they have them pulling.
Yeah.
And so they're going to try to just get behind those 2 big guys and make things happen. And those running backs are good enough. They'll bust one here or there, but limit what they can do. Try to get them in 3rd and long, 4th and long, and make them have to pass the ball. And then our defensive backs are good enough to go get the ball if it is up in the air. And those 2 things right there on defense are really what we're going to need. We've got 2 kids that have been killing it on the defensive line with 106 tackles between the 2 of them, Jackson Vanderf and Bryce Burke. One Jackson a junior and Bryce a sophomore. And they have, I think the coaches know that they are tackling machines, and they will have the game plan tonight ready to stop that run game.
Yeah, so Chris, you're going to get me in trouble. I didn't say they were small. I said they're smaller than what we've faced.
Oh, yeah.
This year. We've seen a lot of lines against Minko.
I didn't mean to put words in your mouth.
No, absolutely. We've seen bigger lines in terms of averaging close to 200, 250, 260. This is another run-related, run-oriented primary offense that we're going to face. I'm not sure if we faced a passing offense maybe since OCA. Maybe it's been a while, but certainly it's going to be good to see how Jackson and Bryce Burke kind of cut up. Bryce will be at linebacker today. Jackson Vandruff on the D end, along with Camden Maroney. Welcome back, Mr. Maroney, coming back for this game as well. Cashion getting a few folks back, and that's good to see. It's been a long season thus far, already 8 games in, and as Coach Shack and Lane will always talk about, it's about injuries and your ability to kind of sustain those through the course of the season when you're dealing with smaller football. So with that, nice little breakdown keys for the Cats. And again, as we've seen thus far this year, Chris, and over the past years, Chris is pretty much spot on. And so if those things happen for the Cashion Wildcats, it'll be a situation where you're probably looking at another district championship, 4th in a row for the Cashion Wildcats, another chance to get closer to their goals. So with that, we'll go to a quick timeout. We've got about a couple minutes. We'll go to a couple timeouts. I know Tom and the group will want to get in here with about 20 minutes left on the clock. We've got the Sharpie out. We'll break it down. We'll be right back here on CWTV's production of the pregame game of the week here live on Squirtle.com.
Dr. Matt Dieselhorst at Dieselhorst Sports and Orthopedics can help you get game day ready. Dr. Dieselhorst works with athletes of all ages, taking a coordinated approach to accelerate return to play and maximize athletic performance. His work with pros in sports training, injury prevention, bracing, functional rehabilitation, and imaging works seamlessly with his medical and surgical expertise. Get started by going to Dieselhorst Sports and Orthopedics. Let Dr. Matt Dieselhorst get you back on the field, backing all Oklahoma athletes on the field and off.
All right, welcome back. And, hey, the faces behind the voice that you guys have been listening to for the last 30 minutes, Neiman Ababi, Chris Gibson, welcome back to our last segment here on the CWTV production of the pregame show here of the Game of the Week, where your number 3 Cashion Wildcats taking on the number 6 Tonkawa Bucks here, live A3 District Championship on the line. So we've broken it down. We've done a few things here. Let's kind of break down the two teams just in summary. Bryce, slide over that tail of the tape. Obviously, district play, there's a lot of similarities. And actually, out of district, the Cashion Wildcats and the Tonkawa Bucks have actually played a similar foe in 2A Perry. If you take a look here, again, both teams 7-1. Cashion having one less district game thus far. We got to close out the season against Crescent. But again, the only difference here, win-loss, is essentially that 47-14 victory with Perry, which was a loss for the Tonkawa Bucks. Other than that, again, a mixture of pretty big wins on both sides. You talked about that 12-0 win kind of standing out. We know some of the issues, and I know talking about the 34 points given up to Watonga, with 3 of those scores coming against the JV. They were basically at the end of the game. Certainly, the tail of the tape is probably a pretty even scale, pretty even game. Chris, from your perspective, before we get your prediction, anything that stand out to you between these two teams as we get close to kickoff?
You see, as the season has gone on, you see OCA, it's 47. Tonkawa scored 47 against OCA. They scored 33 against Hinton. Those two games, they had number 5 in the backfield.
Yep.
And so they are going to score more points whenever he's in the backfield than when he's not.
Yep.
And so that's something to expect tonight going forward.
Yeah, great point, great point. So this is the time and the place. Bryce, if you want to kick it over, I'm going to show the Sharpie. If you're not familiar with Cashion Wildcats TV, I've got the Sharpie in hand, and Chris is literally a half a point off of scores every single week, and that includes.
No, I was off a couple.
No, I don't think you were. I don't think you were. I think it's ridiculous what you're doing, and in fact, I guess the time we actually start laying money down in the Caribbean is probably when things go south for us.
That's right.
But I do
it's
have
all
this
for Snickers and M&Ms right now.
That's right. So I know our man Big Ben on the Pay Dirt Pick'em show. He had to begrudgingly pick his hometown Bucks. I know that was hard for him, as well as one of our great Squirtle sponsors there with HTO. Went with Tonkawa. Some of the other guys went with Cashion. Chris, I have a feeling I know who you're going to go with, but what's most important to me is the score. So Sharpie out.
First off, I have to say hi to Avery and Olivia at home watching. They always tune in just so I say hi. So hi, girls. I love you. And so, yes, now to the score. Cashion Wildcats haven't been healthy the last 6 weeks. I mean, it's been one thing or another.
Right.
They're as healthy as this week. Coach Shackelford, that's one thing Drew, I didn't even go through Shaq's stuff that Drew got from him, but the one thing that I took away from it was we're the healthiest this week than we have been in 6 weeks. And so that being said, I think the Cashion Wildcat offense is going to be able to fire on all cylinders. They're going to get in the end zone quite a bit, even against the Tonkawa defense that is very good. I think we have the weapons, and the game plan that Coach Shackelford's put together is going to be something that they're going to be able to move the ball. And then on the defensive side of the ball, I think we're healthy enough to really get after that run game that Tonkawa wants to throw at us. And I think the Cashion Wildcats go away with a victory of 34-20 tonight.
34-20. You got it. I've written it down. It's official on the Sharpie. Chris Gibson predicting a Cashion Wildcat victory. I think it's a good, solid number. I do think both teams will be able to score and move the ball. And it'll be about, again, what I believe is that halftime adjustment and the corrections that are made. And the pressure will be, I think, on both defensive coordinators coming into that second half. So for Chris Gibson, I'm Neiman Abavi. We are absolutely blessed and pleased to be bringing you this pregame. Shout out to our man Bryce Miller, who's
Todd Miller,
yeah,
appreciates that.
Yeah, in fact, probably Todd is on the road, probably eating out somewhere in Magnolia, Arkansas, as the OBU Bison, home of former Cashion Wildcats, but current Cashion Wildcats. Alex Nabavi and Caden Harrell will be taking on Southern Arkansas. But certainly, it's been a blessing. We appreciate you guys joining us. It's going to be a great night here as the game of the week. And so, for Chris Gibson, I'm Nina Nabavi. Appreciate you guys. Go Cats, and God bless.
Kyle and Gina Van Druff have the answers to all your real estate and insurance needs. These guys will have you covered in a one-stop shopping experience. They are local agents, local supporters, and active in the Cashion community. They are also proud parents of past and present Cashion students. Kyle and Gina help their clients make the right choice. Don't wait till it's too late. Call 405-607-4300. Go Wildcats and number 88. Let's have a great year.
Walk it up. Get you some.
So now you're here again, knocking at my door. A little too late for, I'm sorry for. The lights went out 'cause you kept cutting the cord, and I started to fade into your grave.
This is Grain and Grange Market, the coolest little boutique you've never heard of. Come see us.
The High Plains Insurance Agency takes pride in keeping up with many changes in the crop insurance industry and keeping their insurers informed of these changes. The goal is to help each farmer customize their crop insurance to meet their needs. Thanks for your continued business, and remember, call Amy, Carissa, or Danny at High Plains Insurance in Medford and Loyal at 580-395-2447 or toll free at 1-800-346-4056 for a quote today.
With over 24 flavors of iced tea, HTO is your new destination for the best premium water and iced tea in all of Oklahoma. Offering around 500 drink combinations and half-price tea during happy hour, this is your ultimate tea playground. With a location open in Ardmore and numerous locations coming soon, including the Village in South Oklahoma City, be sure to stop by HTO and experience the best tea you've ever sipped on.
Christy Perry is a Cashion-based attorney providing clients in Oklahoma with trusted, experienced legal counsel regarding wills and trusts, bankruptcy, and other areas of law. Flexible scheduling is available to discuss your options, and your first consultation is free. If you need assistance regarding a legal matter, call your local Oklahoma licensed attorney, Christy Perry, at 918-373-0882.
At Maples Nixon Diesel Horse, we've helped a lot of people, and our goal was to treat each and every person like a friend. And as a friend, we've got your back, always. We understand what you're going through. Being lawyers is what we do, but it's not all that we are. We care. We'll stand beside you throughout the entire legal process, not just as lawyers, but as your friends. We are Maples Nixon Diesel Horse, and we are here to help.
Founded by Jesse and Amy McCracken, Rural Pest Solutions is a Cashion-based, family-owned and operated company. Our focus is on providing the highest level of customer service while effectively treating many common invaders, including spiders, ants, roaches, mice, mosquitoes, fleas, ticks, and termites. Flexible scheduling and superior customer service are our top priority. Call us today to schedule your appointment, 405-283-6565.
I'm Todd Miller, and this is Grain and Grange, still the coolest furniture store you've never heard of. Come see us.
For generations, the FFA has been helping our children through agriculture to grow into responsible adults. We believe in and we support the work being done by our local FFA chapters and all they do to create an enriching experience for our youth. For all you do, you have our thanks. Farm Credit of Enid. Together, we grow.
Is your school or booster club looking for ways to fundraise? Let Downtown Threads create a custom website to showcase all your school apparel. You pick the design and the garment, we do the rest. We will handle all the payments and cut you one check when the website is closed. Call today, 580-237-7060. Downtown Threads, proudly supporting all local high school athletes.
At Bellamy & Company, we know agriculture. Every day we actively value, market, and sell farmland and farm equipment. We also provide comprehensive insurance products for crops, farm equipment, and farm liability. This provides us a true understanding of the rural way of life, resulting in a better service for our customers. There is a difference. We'd be honored to show you. Find out more at callbellamy.com. That is callbellamy.com.
Our world is changing, but one thing is the same. We're here for you. In these uncertain times, take comfort in knowing that modern women of America is built for this. We are built to handle uncertainties, and we've weathered many in the past 137 years, including world wars, disease outbreaks, depressions, and recessions. You may have concerns about your financial plan, but you can also have peace of mind. You got this, because you have us.
OKBit Service Inc. has been providing quality service and products to the petroleum, water, and mining industries for over 35 years. We provide high-quality tricones, reamers, and PDC bits to water well, mining, geothermal, oil and gas, and directional boring and construction companies nationwide. Contact OKBit today for your next drilling project. We are proud supporters of our local community and very proud of our Tonkawa Public Schools. Go Bucks!
Are you looking for a bank that provides excellent security and safety for your account information? Then Bank Central is made for you. When you use our website, bcna.com, you can pay bills, check account balances, download statements, and even manage your debit card. With our mobile app, you can do all that, plus make deposits as easily as taking a picture with your phone. Talk to a CSR at any of our 6 locations to find the products that work best for your banking needs. At Bank Central, we're centered on you. Member FDIC.
Annual checkups, primary care provider, urgent health needs? Come see us at Cashion Community Clinic. With 10 years of experience in rural emergency and primary care, Cameron Hogan is ready to serve you. The Hogan family calls Cashion home and loves contributing through their local community clinic. We accept all insurances and offer very affordable cash pay options as well. So when the need arises, from pediatrics to grandparents, call us at 405-433-5008 or come see Cameron Hogan PAC at the Cashion Community Clinic on Main Street. Go Wildcats!
Cashion FBC is a church seeking to grow in Christ and our love for the body of Christ. With ministries from children to youth to adults, we strive to present the gospel in an engaging and meaningful way. Sunday school meets at 9:45 a.m. and worship starts at 11 a.m. Children and youth meet on Wednesdays at 6 p.m. Please check our website at cashionfbc.org for more information, and we hope to see you this Sunday, located a half-mile east of Cashion.
Hi, my name is Stephanie Woody, and I want to help you or a loved one navigate your way through understanding Medicare. It's hard getting questions answered when you don't know who to call or trust. I am local and appointed with all the insurance carriers in Oklahoma. You can trust me to help you apply for Medicare, make the right decisions based on your current financial and healthcare needs, and feel confident about your future. Act quickly. Annual enrollment period is October 15th to December 7th. Call Stephanie Woody, that's me, at 405-830-4966 to set up an appointment.
Dr. Matt Dieselhorst at Dieselhorst Sports and Orthopedics can help you get game day ready. Dr. Dieselhorst works with athletes of all ages, taking a coordinated approach to accelerate return to play and maximize athletic performance. His work with pros in sports training, injury prevention, bracing, functional rehabilitation, and imaging works seamlessly with his medical and surgical expertise. Get started by going to Dieselhorst Sports and Orthopedics. Let Dr. Matt Dieselhorst get you back on the field, backing all Oklahoma athletes on the field and off.
Kyle and Gina Van Druff have the answers to all your real estate and insurance needs. These guys will have you covered in a one-stop shopping experience. They are local agents, local supporters, and active in the Cashion community. They are also proud parents of past and present Cashion students. Kyle and Gina help their clients make the right choice. Don't wait till it's too late. Call 405-607-4600 4300. Go Wildcats and number 88. Let's have a great year.
Walk it up, get you some.
So now you're here again, knocking at my door. A little too late for, I'm sorry for. The lights went out 'cause you kept cutting the cord, and I started to fade into your gray.
This is Grain and Grange Market, the coolest little boutique you've never heard of. Come see us.
The Scourdle High School football game of the week presented by High Plains Insurance tries to find great matchups every week, and I think we have a home run tonight as the championship in Class A District 3 is on the line, and two of the last three state champs in Class A are clashing as defending state champ Cashion goes to Tonkawa to take on the 2018 state champion Bucks. It's only the second meeting ever between the Bucks and the Wildcats, but it feels like it's a rivalry game tonight. Tonkawa fans have been rallying the troops all week to make the defending state champs feel uncomfortable under the bright lights, but the Wildcats have been dealing with the target on their back all year. They want this to be like any other Friday night in Cashion, coming home with a victory. Adam Dieselhorst is by my side tonight, and we've got a compelling matchup between two programs with extensive football pedigrees, gold balls in the trophy case, and expectations that their seasons are a long way from being over.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, what more can you ask for? We're looking across the field over there. You see the big sign over there, and countless number of state championships. And obviously, if this game was played at Cashion, you'd see the same thing. So what a fantastic matchup. We're looking forward to it.
The Bucks have been given a jolt by the arrival of Cam Jackson, a running back who transferred in from Ponca City. He's only rushed for about 500 yards in 2 games so far. This is a kid who rushed for 900 yards a year ago as a freshman against 6A competition at Ponca City. He's played against the Tulsa Unions and Owasos of the world. It's going to be kind of interesting to see him against the best competition Class A has to offer.
Yeah, obviously a dynamic athlete. One of those things, talking to the Cashion coaches before the game, and that's a big key. Obviously, you're going to have to definitely break down and wrap up on him. And he's a difference maker. And obviously, like you said, the numbers he's putting up, and if he's putting numbers up like that in 6A too, watch out.
Wildcats have a lot of weapons, keyed by one of the best quarterbacks in the state in Ben Harmon. But he's surrounded by a lot of skill position talent. Landon Lagasse, Mason Manning, Nick DeBavi. They've been electric this season.
Yeah, and it's like, talking to some of the people at Tonkawa, when you're looking at Cashion and you're looking at how you're going to defend him, and small school, you normally don't see teams with just so many different skill players that you have to match up with, and that's just the headache that Cashion presents, and it just seems like it's been that way for so long, and it makes it truly difficult on teams.
Cashion won 42-0 last year, but a lot of water has gone under the bridge in the years since. Cashion trying to defend, and Tonkawa has the talent to get to where they want to be as well. It is the Wildcats and the Bucks from Buccaneer Field in Tonkawa on the Scourdle Game of the Week presented by High Plains Insurance.
The High Plains Insurance Agency takes pride in keeping up with many changes in the crop insurance industry and keeping their insurers informed of these changes. The goal is to help each farmer customize their crop insurance to meet their needs. Thanks for your continued business, and remember, call Amy, Carissa, or Danny at High Plains Insurance in Medford and Loyal at 580-395-2447 or toll free at 1-800-346-4056 for a quote today.
With over 24 flavors of iced tea, HTO is your new destination for the best premium water and iced tea in all of Oklahoma. Offering around 500 drink combinations and half-price tea during happy hour, this is your ultimate tea playground. With a location open in Ardmore and numerous locations coming soon, including the Village in South Oklahoma City, be sure to stop by HTO and experience the best tea you've ever sipped on.
Christy Perry is a Cashion-based attorney providing clients in Oklahoma with trusted, experienced legal counsel regarding wills and trusts, bankruptcy, and other areas of law. Flexible scheduling is available to discuss your options, and your first consultation is free. If you need assistance regarding a legal matter, call your local Oklahoma licensed attorney, Christy Perry, at 918-373-0882.
At Maples Nixon Diesel Horse, we've helped a lot of people, and our goal was to treat each and every person like a friend. And as a friend, we've got your back always. We understand what you're going through. Being lawyers is what we do, but it's not all that we are. We care. We'll stand beside you throughout the entire legal process, not just as lawyers, but as your friends. We are Maples Nixon Diesel Horse, and we are here to help.
In Tonkawa, Tom Nelson and Adam Dieselhorst, and you take a look at the standings. Tonkawa 4-0, Cashion 3-0. This is the final game of the regular season for Tonkawa. They were supposed to play OBA next week, but OBA playing an 8-man schedule worked out great for Tonkawa because now, no matter what happens tonight, they get next week off, a 2-week break before the first round of the playoffs. That worked out well.
Yeah, especially, you know how it is in Class A. You got limited rosters, limited numbers, so if you do have any injuries, especially in a game like this, obviously we're not hoping for injuries, but if there could be, give you a little extra time to get healthy.
Cashion had their game against OBA. It was supposed to be last week. They played Ulysses, Kansas, and won that ball game 34-13 against a school that's quite a bit bigger. Cashion has under 200 kids enrolled in high school. Ulysses, Kansas had about 600 kids. Very impressive for the Class A team to go up to Kansas or meet halfway in Alva and get that nice win.
Yeah, and I was actually able to watch that game. My wife had a scrimmage and was able to hop over there and watch about a half of that game. And you're right, it was a very impressive win for Cashion. We haven't seen them in person, which is kind of odd because we normally cover a lot of games. And we might have a kind of a foreshadowing of our game of the week next week is Tom just killed a Yellow Jacket live here inside the press box.
Okay, Fairview fans, don't get on me for that, please. After picking against the Yellow Jackets last week on Pay Dirt Pick'em, but we're just about ready for this one. And the Cashion Wildcats will get the football first, and we'll talk about that high-powered offense. Ben Harmon, senior quarterback, has thrown for over 2,500 yards, completing 66% of his passes, 31 touchdowns and 6 picks. But it's really been Nick Nabavi, the running game for Cashion, that has really stepped up over the last 4 ball games.
Yeah, Nabavi's a kid that obviously he's just every year he kind of reshapes his body. You can tell he's a kid that works really, really hard in the weight room, and he's going to be a key player on both sides of the ball that you see. But he's that added element to Coach Shackelford's offense that they need because a lot of people talk about Coach Shack and wanting to throw the ball over the place, but he loves to be able to run the ball.
Brendan Ochoa with the kick that squibs along the ground and it's jumped on at the 27-yard line as that ball was free, a little longer than the Wildcats wanted that to be free, and it will be first down and 10 at the 28-yard line. That is where Cashion will start the drive.
And obviously what we're going to look for here is one thing that Tonkawa is perennially known for is their defensive ability and what they can do on the defensive side of the ball, and see how they obviously line up and match up against Cashion.
Yeah, they've got some great size and great experience on both the offensive and defensive interior lines. That's going to be a key for them tonight. They're going to run that football behind that offensive line, and on defense, they want to lay the lumber tonight. Ben Harmon will bring him into the shotgun formation, flanked to his right by Nick Nabavi. Just underway from Buccaneer Field in Tonkawa. We're so glad to have you on the game of the week, and we've got almost a packed house here. Lots of fans are standing along the track, as you would expect tonight. Handoff to Nabavi on first down across the 30-yard line to the 32 before he's taken down by Dante Mendoza, the 6'4", 253-pound senior. But a nice gain on first down of about 6 to bring up second down and 4.
Yeah, big run, start off the bat for Cashion. That's what they're going to want to establish early on. Boy, that was an impressive tackle there by Mendoza.
And Nabavi up over 800 yards rushing, 9 rushing touchdowns, averaging just under 7 yards a carry. Second down and 4. They'll give it to him again. And he'll slide off a thing and bounce it left, and he is into the clear. 50 to 45 to 40, 35 to the 30. Down the far sideline, heading for the end zone before he's pushed out of bounds by Kai Day. That'll save the touchdown, but a big run on second down and 4. It's first and goal for Cashion.
Well, we talked about Nabavi early, and he's making 2 or 3 people miss. Tonkawa has guys there to make the tackle, and they're just not breaking down, and Nabavi slips away, and a big run.
Gain on the play, 59 yards. First down and goal, less than a minute into this ball game as Cashion tries to come out and take the starch out of this senior night crowd here in Tonkawa. And we talked about in the pregame how they were trying to rally the fans. They were trying to get the people fired up to come out tonight, and they got a big crowd across the way. Harmon on first and goal. This time will pull it away from Nabavi, and that play was broken up a little bit, and he'll lose yardage. They'll mark him at the 9-yard line, losing 2 for second down and goal.
Yeah, it looks like that time, obviously, they had a misread. It looks like they kind of mishandled the snap, too, so the play action wasn't there, and Harmon had to tuck it and run.
So second down and goal from the 9-yard line. 2 wide to the right, 2 wide to the left. The one back set from the shotgun. And before the play gets underway, somebody moved on the offensive side of the line, so moving back fine. So now it'll be second down and goal from back at the 14-yard line. That's big for Tonkawa. They gave up the gut punch run down inside the 10-yard line. Now Cashion going back.
He'll look for Cashion to go empty here, obviously.
And now Tonkawa's called a timeout, so we'll take our first break of the night. 10:22 to play in the first quarter, no score. But the Wildcats are threatening. We'll take a break. You're watching the Game of the Week on Squirtle, presented by High Plains Insurance.
Founded by Jesse and Amy McCracken, Rural Pest Solutions is a Cashion-based, family-owned and operated company. Our focus is on providing the highest level of customer service while effectively treating many common invaders, including spiders, ants, roaches, mice, mosquitoes, fleas, ticks, and termites. Flexible scheduling and superior customer service are our top priority. Call us today to schedule your appointment, 405-283-6565.
This Cashion drive started off the opening kickoff back at the 28-yard line. The big 59-yard run by Nabavi brings up second down and goal from the 14 as Cashion has gone back. A penalty and a loss in the run by Harmon. Empty the backfield, spread the field. Back to throw is Harmon. Draw play now. Harmon is tackled at the 15-yard line, submarining underneath and knocking him down. It's Chad Cravens. And no gain on the play brings up third down and 14.
What a fantastic defensive play there by Cravens. Coming in from the outside off the edge. Wide receiver missed his block, standing around, and a big play for another loss.
So it's third down and goal from the 14. The big play by Chaz Slavens. Harmon has time, double pump toward the end zone. Flag flies. The catch is made but out of bounds near side of the end zone, but there was a flag. The officials will discuss.
I think they call a legal man downfield.
That's what I'm thinking too, which would mock it back 5 yards and just make it third down and goal at the 19.
I bet you they decline it so they can have
the incomplete, so it'll be 4th and 14. Exactly right. It will be fourth down and goal at the 16-yard line. That ball marked out past the 15.
Well, this would be a huge stop for Tonkawa. Obviously, Cashion, having all the momentum early on, and this defensive stop by Tonkawa would be huge.
9.5 to play in the first quarter. Cashion with the big run by Nabavi to get down inside the 10-yard line, but they've gone back since then backwards, so it's fourth down and goal from the 16. Harmon to throw, looks left, now flush to his right to the end zone. Back right corner of the end zone. It's caught by Lagasse.
Holy
and it's
cow.
a touchdown. Great catch in traffic.
Well, you know, the other crazy thing about that, Tom, I don't know if you saw, but Tonkawa lined up right. They had 2 defenders covering Lagasse, and he still goes up and makes the play.
That's exactly right. He was in traffic. He went up in the back right corner of the end zone in the dark over there and reeled it in. And on 4th down and goal from the 16-yard line, Cashion hooks up as Harmon to Lagasse, and they'll try the extra point kick. 9:27 to play in the first quarter. Kick is up and through by Bryson Hogan. 9:27 to play. 7-0 Wildcats. We'll take a break. You're watching the Game of the Week on Scortal, presented by High Plains Insurance.
Todd Miller, and this is Grain and Grange. Still the coolest furniture store you've never heard of. Come see us.
Wildcats score 4-play, 72-yard drive, 16-yard touchdown pass on 4th and goal. Ben Harmon to Landon Lagasse for Landon, his 22nd receiving touchdown of the year. And it's 7-0, the defending state champion Cashion Wildcats. Bryson Hogan will tee it up at the 40-yard line. Roman Chandler back deep along with Peyton Keith. And the kick is high and short, taken by an up man. It's picked up by Jake Randall. And Randall across the 25-yard line, or the 25 to the 30, out to the 32. And that is where Tonkawa will take over, 1st down and 10. So we'll see if the Bucks have an answer after the big play that got Cashion inside the 10-yard line, but then they went back and scored on the 4th down and goal play from the 16. The drive will start from the 31-yard line. Ryan Morgan's the quarterback. Up under center, a I formation, wide out left and right. Handoff up the middle. There's Cam Jackson's first carry of the evening. He'll get out to the edge and across the 35-yard line, going out of bounds at about the 38. Nice gain on 1st down of about 7.
And that's what you're going to see a lot of, obviously, I formation, kind of old school football power ball, run right at you. Come and get us is what they're saying, Tonkawa is.
Now, Cam Jackson in 2 games since being cleared to play after transferring from Ponca City, 38 carries for 465 yards and 4 rushing touchdowns coming in. Just 2 ball games he's played, averaging 12.2 yards a carry as he ripped off 7 right there. 1 back set this time. On 2nd and 3.
Reverse.
To the near sideline comes Jake Randall as he turns it up, and he's upended across the 45-yard line to the 46, and that'll be a 1st down.
A nice little misdirection play. Obviously, everybody's paying attention to number 5 in the backfield. And one thing you're going to see about Tonkawa is a lot of these skill kids have a lot of speed.
Gain of 8. Randall in the program is listed as 6'1", 127. And they said that's pretty close, although I think he weighs more than 127 now, but not a big kid. He was upended after the gain there, but it's a 1st down and 10. Right up the middle. Not a whole lot there that time, a yard or 2. The carry by Jackson.
Well, that time that play was well scouted by Cashion. They were right there in the hole. Little GT pull play by Tonkawa. They're bringing about everybody pulling on that play. Little smash mouth football.
Giuliani Martinez in the stop for Cashion brings up 2nd down and 8 at the 48-yard line. If you're just joining us, Cashion marched down on their opening drive and scored 4th down and goal from the 16-yard line. A 16-yard touchdown pass from Ben Harmon to Landon Lagasse, and the extra point kick by Hogan. From the gun this time, option.
Speed option, good play.
Quarterback will keep it himself across the 50-yard line into Cashion territory. That's Ryan Morgan, who's carried the ball now 35 times in the season for about 83 yards rushing, as he will pick up 6.
I don't know if you saw something early in the game. One thing I did notice, Thomas, Camden Maroney, a kid that's been out for the last handful of games for Cashion, got hurt on the opening kickoff, and he is a big factor on the defensive side for Cashion. It looks like he will not be playing.
Another player that came back this week was Max Brown. Safety. 3rd down and about 5. Back to throw this time. Going deep is Morgan.
Ooh, he had 2 guys wide open.
And the pass incomplete. And Jake Randall not happy because he thought he was wide open, but there were a couple guys who were pretty open down there. And that will bring up 3rd down and about 4.
And I give Cashion credit. I noticed in warm-ups they like to roll him out, and Coach Wood did a good job of blitzing to that side of the field, and it kind of just disrupted him long enough to not see both those wide receivers wide open down the field.
Ryan Morgan passing coming in 44 of 74 for 858 yards, 10 touchdowns, and 3 picks. He's completed 60% of his passes. That was a 3rd down play, so on 4th down they'll punt. Takes a nice bounce. Can they save it inside the 1?
Wow.
They will. It'll be down to inside the 1-yard line. Tremendous punt by Brendan Ochoa. His 23rd punt of the season. He had a long of 49, and that one right there will be about 47, but well placed. It's 1st down at the 1-yard line, inside the 1-yard line for the Wildcats, in the shadow of their own goalposts.
Yeah, and that could be big in a game like this. Special teams is always huge. It's something that people don't really pay attention to. When you're not playing a equally as talented team as you, it goes unnoticed. But in a game like this, you know, punts and kicks and extra points, those things are what will win the game.
So 1st down and 10 for Cashion, leading 7-0, 6:41 to play in the first quarter here at Buccaneer Field in Tonkawa. First time I've been to Buccaneer Field and done a game before.
What a great atmosphere.
It really is. They do love their football in Tonkawa. 1st down and 10 from inside the 1. And from the end zone, Harmon wants to throw. Had to get rid of it, incomplete. Trying to find on the left side Mason Manning, but he was flushed and hurried. It'll be 2nd down and 10. Dominic Grine on the pressure. 2nd down and 10. Glad to have you watching wherever you may be tonight. One of the biggest games in the state. Class A, District 3. Winner's going to win that district championship. Loser most likely will get 2nd and be in that number 2 spot, get a home game in the first round of the playoffs, but you sure would like to take home that hardware. 2nd down and 10. Handoff to Nabavi. Can he get out of the end zone? He does, just barely. He'll get to the 1. Boy, it's tough to run against that as they were just attacking the footballs. Once again, we'll call the name of Dominic Grine. Grine, 6'6", 195.
Now, just once again, Tonkawa up front. They've got a lot of big, tall, long kids up there. You see Grine, it's about 6'5" or 6'6". I don't know if you remember his dad, Peter Grine. He was a heck of a basketball player back in the early 90s for Tonkawa.
So it's 3rd down and 10 just outside the 1-yard line.
It'll be a delay game, but they're not going to lose much here. What, 2 inches?
Lose about 6. That offensive line for Cashion is under the gun. Preston Coulter, the left tackle. Left guard is Tommy Branson. The center is Joey Wilson. Juliana Martinez at right guard, and Chase Ritter, the right tackle. 3rd down and 10. Tonkawa defense, they could really put the heat on the punter, land on the gas if they could get this stop right here. Out in the flat right side, the pass is completed to Lagasse. Take it back, that's completed to Mason Manning in the end zone. He gets it out to the 4-yard line, well short of the 1st down.
Well, that was just great pursuit there by Tonkawa. Really impressive on the defensive side of the ball. Obviously only had one man out there to block, and Lagasse got his block, and Manning was taken down pretty quick.
So now Landon Lagasse will stand at the very back of that end zone on the near hash. And Tonkawa should get great field position out of this. Roman Chandler will stand at the Cashion 42-yard line.
Well, and Roman Chandler, another great skill player for Tonkawa. I think he's had a banged-up ankle. As you can see, it's taped up pretty heavily right now.
He's been hurt, and he's about as close to 100% as he's going to get, I was told before the ball game. And a timeout before We see if Cashion can kick it out of there. Timeout on the field. 5:07 to play in the first quarter. 7-0 Wildcats. We'll take a break. You're watching the Game of the Week on Squirtle, presented by High Plains Insurance.
I'm Todd Miller, and this is Grain & Grange. Still the coolest furniture store you've never heard of. Come see us.
Tom Nelson, Adam Dieselhorst back with you in Tonkawa. It's 4th down and 7 for Cashion from their own 4-yard line. And Landon Lagasse will be standing back there with his heels right in front of that back line of the end zone. If he can't handle the snap, could give up a safety or worse. We'll see.
You got to be careful here with the snap, too, as well. Ooh, this is bad. Almost got it blocked.
Almost did. A short punt.
Good bounce, though, for Cashion.
That'll roll out across the 30-yard line and die at the 34. So Tonkawa will take over 1st down and 10. So you talk about how special teams, how many different ways it can help you. You talk about the punt previously by Brendan Ochoa. They were able to down inside the 1-yard line. Now Tonkawa takes over 1st down and 10. Already pretty deep in Cashion territory.
Yeah, and that was a mistake by Lagasse. Obviously, we see Lagasse, such a great player, but he should have tried to field that punt earlier on. It kind of took a nasty bump, but, I mean, when you have a good punter and somebody can position it like that, that's exactly what Tonkawa was trying to accomplish.
So 1st down and 10 from the 34-yard line. And on 1st down, they will hand off to Jackson, bouncing left, cuts back to his right, and found room to get a couple of yards for the whole close down. And on the stop, a couple of different Wildcats, including Bryce Burke.
A situation there, they ran that same stretch play again, and this time Vandrift did a good job of getting off his blocks and filling the gap. Watch for a little lead play here, maybe toss from Tonkawa to this formation.
2nd down and 8 from the 32 with the I formation, wideouts left and right.
Play action.
Looking left side.
Good coverage.
One-on-one coverage inside the 10-yard line. The pass was intended for Noah Campbell, but that was good coverage downfield by Max Brown, who's back after an injury. It'll bring up 3rd down and 8.
And that time, actually, that was a situation where it looked like they actually had the in route on the outside was wide open coming across the field for Tonkawa. Quarterback just missed him. He's kind of locked in on one guy.
3rd and 8 from the 32-yard line. Boy, Tonkawa, they would love to be able to capitalize on the good field position. Going right this time.
Good coverage again by Cashion, man.
Nearly intercepted by Landon Lagasse. He had it in his hands, and that'll bring up 4th down and 8. Try to find some running room up the middle and push back in a hurry is the quarterback Harmon, and they're going to pick up a free 15 because Noah Campbell didn't pull away and let off as he knocked over Harmon.
And that was just not very smart there if you're Tonkawa. I mean, you stop them on third down.